allow me to share screen for the material of the session. Sorry, I'm still new using this application, so content to share. Om Asep, maaf sudah kelihatan materinya?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your confirmation. All right, let me open the session. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right, so today the session allow me to introduce myself. I am Agam Gumawang, or you can call me Brother Agam. This session will talk and discuss about job competency standard for halal auditor, especially the job competency standard for halal auditor in Indonesia. Uh, I've been a halal auditor as well from 2015. So in case you have something to discuss regarding this material or regarding another thing from the halal regulation, you can discuss with me via Zoom chat or via this session. All right, so regarding the job competency standard for halal auditor in Indonesia, there are three essential things to understand about the job competency standard of halal auditor in Indonesia. So the first one, you need to have a deep understanding. You need to have deep understanding about the knowledge aspect. It's about the regulation of halal standard, about type of product or product category in halal certification, maybe about the positive list material, regulation about the standard of halal certification, mentioned in Decree of Regulation 20 of 2023, like halal haram concept. That's why the first day you obtain the material about halal haram concept from Islamic expert. Okay, the standard, I need to remind you again, the standard of halal certification process, we use decree or regulation 20 of 2023. And about positive list material, we use the regulation 1360 of 2021. And the product category, we use the regulation 944 of 2024 and regulation 748 of 2021. So those are the several halal certification standard that you need to know as a halal auditor, especially in Indonesia. So the standard depend on the country, right? Okay. The standard, regulation, halal haram concept, and maybe auditing technique, yeah, you need to have good understanding regarding the knowledge aspect. And then the skill to do the audit, skill how to create audit plan, skill to create the audit report. We will learn after this session. So the skill aspect also important in understanding the job competency standard of halal auditor in Indonesia. Okay, and then attitude, behavior, attitude become an independent auditor about doing the accurate audit activity, doing the detailed audit activity. Yeah, we have to apply the good attitude during our work as a halal auditor. Okay. Okay, uh, so as a competent halal auditor, you need to apply and implement these 4 job competency unit. So if the assessor of competency asks you about what is the competency unit of halal auditor, so you have to answer with this 4 job competency unit as a halal auditor. To make it easier, we need to I need to remind you about the PDCA concept. The PDCA concept are plan, do, check, and action concept to make it easier in understanding the job competency standard. Actually, if you have been experienced in auditing process, you must be familiar with this uh, job competency unit. So it starts from plan aspect. From plan, we need to create or prepare the audit plan or preparing audit of halal product, material, and process. Planning the audit as the first step is plan or planning the audit. Planning the audit, the first step, so it has the unit code itself, M748HI0001.0. Point zero, it's the first edition of the job competency standard in Indonesia. 001, unit of competency number 1. 002, unit competency number 2. So it's there are 4 job competency unit when you learn about the halal auditor competency in based on Indonesia regulation. Okay, preparing the audit, planning the audit. Also, when we prepare the audit, we will do the first step, or we will conduct the first stage audit. Okay, first stage audit, or on that we can call it on that audit. The first step after we receive the document of halal certification, just like the legal document, maybe it's list of material, halal manual, flow chart of the process, or maybe halal system management record, something like that. We need to do the pre-audit or the first stage audit, or on desk. We will conduct the on desk audit first to verify the requirement before the on-site audit. So we verify the requirement from the document, from the record on desk before meeting directly with the halal management team from the company, or from halal management team from the auditee. So the second job competency unit, it's the on-desk audit before meeting directly with the halal management team from the auditee. Okay, the third step or the third job competency unit, conducting the audit. So we already meet directly with the halal management team from the company. We observe directly the production process. We observe directly the material, the ingredient being stored in a warehouse. And then we observe directly the cleaning process of the production facility. Yeah, it's called the on-site audit, the on-site audit of halal certification process from halal auditor. So we observe directly, we assess directly in the production facility of the company. Also, we interview directly the QC personnel, the quality personnel. Also, we interview directly the production section personnel to obtain the information regarding the implementation of halal assurance system itself. Okay, we Okay, so to make it easier, the first one, planning the audit. The second one, the on-desk audit. The third, job competency, the on-site audit. And the last one, or the last job competency unit, after we finish the on-site audit, we need to create and write down the halal audit report. Halal audit report contain the information about the company profile, the name of the halal management team representative, the name of auditor, audit time, also status of the certification, also list of product, list type product category, list of material, and the implementation of halal system. Okay, after that's all. That's all we will discuss during today's training. From today until tomorrow. Okay, we create the audit plan, pre-audit or the on-desk audit, and then the next is the on-site audit, and the last one is audit reporting or create the audit report. All right, next. Okay, preparing the audit. So the first step, you need to prepare. Audit plan form. You need to prepare the audit plan form and write down the scope of the audit. So in Indonesia regulation, the scope of the audit explained in regulation 748 and explained in the regulation 944. Okay, so the scope of the audit, for example, oil and emulsion product. For example, beverage with processing. Another example, fruit with processing, something like that. Or maybe cosmetic product, pharmaceutical product, slaughtering service, slaughterhouse, something like that, or maybe logistic service provider. So the first one, in create the audit plan, you need to determine the scope of the audit. Determine the scope of the audit. Is it food product, beverage, or maybe cosmetic product, or maybe service, or maybe from service, logistic service provider, retailer, or maybe slaughterhouse service. Okay, depend on the business process of the auditee. Okay. Set the objective of the audit. The objective of the audit to verify the implementation of halal assurance system from auditee based on 5 criteria of halal standard that you have been discussed in the previous session with Ms. Gita. Okay, and then the audit method. We have to combine the several audit method. Interview, also maybe we combine interview, and review the document and records with the observation to obtain the evidence, the audit evidence of the production process, for example. Yeah, we need to combine all the audit method to obtain the valid evidence. Okay. And then prepare the audit agenda. You need to allocate the time to do the opening meeting, to observe the process, to verify the validity of halal supporting document, and also allocate the time to do the closing meeting, and etc. Okay, and then you already create the audit plan, and don't forget to prepare the audit resources. Don't forget to prepare the audit resources. Resources like assignment letter, maybe audit checklist, or maybe attendance list, something like that. And maybe if you need in case any sampling process, you need to prepare the sampling form, also the sampling equipment, and you can coordinate with the halal laboratory personnel. Okay, so the halal, and the important thing is the halal laboratory must be accredited ISO 17025. Okay, preparing the audit. So preparing the audit, the important step here, you have to be able to create audit plan based on the business process, of the auditee, that you will visit. Okay. Pre-audit, or we can call on-desk audit. The first one, when we receive the document, from the system, we need to verify several information, such as this one, the company name, company address. You need to verify based on the legal business document. Verify the name of the company already correct, the address of the company already correct, and mention the similar information between the legal document and the information in the halal manual of the company. Okay, and then check the product halal certification status. So the company, actually this one is verification of the company profile. So we need to verify the information from the company profile, the name of the company, the address of the office, the address of the production facility, the address of the outlet, maybe if you conduct the audit to restaurant business process, something like that. And also one of the important thing is to verify the halal certification status. Is it new, renewal, or maybe development? However, in Indonesia right now, the certification status only new and development. And because the validity of halal certificate is in Indonesia is forever, as long as no new material being used or no changes on the production process. That's why in Indonesia only have two certification status, new and development. And maybe several The others halal certifier body have new development and renewal, so depend on the halal certifier body regulation and SOP. All right. Okay, and we also, after we check the company profile information, the halal auditor need to verify the halal assurance system document. The halal assurance system document, we need to verify the halal manual, we need to verify the validity of halal supporting document. As we know, for the critical material, the critical material must be supported by a valid halal certificate or the others valid combination of halal supporting document. And then check the product name, verify the product name already fulfill, already comply with the regulation in Indonesia or not, already comply the halal regulation or not, the name of the product, like before mocktail, the cocktail, is it fulfill or not? Yeah, we need to verify and double check again to the regulation of the name of the product allowed to halal certification. Okay, then the production process flow or flow chart. The simple one is the flow chart of the process. So we need to know the flow chart of the process. For example, when we conduct the audit to cleaning agent manufacturer, we need to know the process from incoming material check, the preparation of the material, the mixing process, until the packing process as the final process. And then for the process to, for example, the instant beverage, we need to know the process in incoming material check, also maybe the mixing process, or maybe the drying process using spray dryer, and the packing process. So we need to know the essential process to produce any kind of product based on the scientific judgment. Okay, and then check the material and product metrics or metrics of halal product, which kita already show you. We need to verify the name of the material, the number of the material must be similar among the document submitted to halal auditor. The number of the material in this document must be similar number with the number of material in the matrix document. So we will discuss a little bit further in the next session. I just give you the introduction first, right? And then verify the compliance of halal assurance system documentation or halal assurance system implementation. So we need to check the dissemination of halal policy, ensure the company already implement the halal policy, and the halal policy must be in line with the business process of the company. So if the business process of the company is logistic service provider, so the halal policy must explain the halal policy for the logistic service provider. For example, we commit during the handling of the product, there's no contamination of non-halal material or the contamination with the non-halal impurities, for example, during the handling of goods or handling of the product, because as we know, the logistic service provider they don't have the product for logistic service provider, but provide the logistic service for handling the product, logistic service for warehouse, logistic service for distribution or transportation, for example. Okay, and then we check the evidence of human resource development in halal implementation. So we need to check, we need to verify the implementation of halal training. So the halal supervisor must follow the external training from accredited training institution, and also the halal supervisor must deliver the training to the purchasing personnel, to the quality personnel, QA/QC, to R&D personnel, to warehouse personnel, to the production personnel. The halal supervisor deliver the training to the halal critical personnel in the company. So the halal supervisor train those personnel, and also prepare the post test, to check the effectivity of the training. So the trainee must have to pass the internal halal training. So there must be the SOP for the halal training, and also the minimum standard to pass the post test of the halal training, the attendance list, photo of the training, the material or PowerPoint to deliver the training, something like that. So there must be evidence in each halal critical activity. So write what you implement and implement what you write. Yeah, that's the core point of system implementation. All right, and then after, so we need to verify the internal audit evidence, check the audit checklist, the SOP of internal audit checklist, or maybe check the attendance list, check the summary of internal audit activity. So we need to check it first. Is it available or not, already implement or not? And check the evidence of minute of meeting from management review. So there is minute of meeting attended by the top management from the company, and there must be the follow up from the management review action. So if it generate the action from the minute of meeting of the management review, there must be the follow up in case the follow up is in form of the action or in form of the activities. Maybe we will develop new product, we'll develop new SOP for the new process. Okay, the third step or the third job competency unit, conducting the audit or on-site audit On-site audit, we meet directly, right, with the halal management team from the auditee. So the first element of the competency, the first working step here, conduct the opening meeting. Conduct the opening meeting. Introduce yourself, introduce your auditor team, and submit the assignment letter to the halal management team. Introduce yourself, and also explain about the objective of the audit. For example, excuse me, I'm Agam Gumawang as a lead auditor. Today, I will conduct the halal audit to XYZ Company Limited. The objective of the audit to verify the implementation of halal assurance system in XYZ Company Limited. Okay. Explain the scope of the audit. Explain the product category, or maybe explain the type of product being mentioned in our audit plan. So the scope of the audit today is cosmetic product, for example. The scope of our audit today is pharmaceutical product. The scope of the audit today is for logistic service provider, especially in warehouse service, something like that. So we need to explain about the scope of the audit based on the regulation of 748 and regulation 044 of 2024. Okay, so the scope of the audit already explained in Indonesia Halal regulation. Explain the audit agenda that you have created from the first job competency unit. Explain the audit agenda. Explain the audit method. The method of the audit today is interview, observation, and combination of document review and record review, for example. Okay, and then on the first opening meeting session, you need to explain the required document, the required SOP maybe to prepare, so that you can assess the compliance of halal system implementation. So explain, kindly provide us to the auditor SOP of halal system implementation, maybe invoice of purchasing critical material, provide us the formulation of the formulation evidence of the product, and then maybe the evidence of internal audit, something like that. So records and document regarding halal assurance system implementation. You need to mention the document being assess the update halal manual, maybe. So you need to explain about it in the opening meeting session. Okay, so after opening meeting, we will conduct several verification process. Okay, so it will be a lot here, a lot of work here. So verify the halal policy, verify the dissemination of halal policy, and then verify the halal management team structure, and then verify the responsibilities of each halal management team member. So we need to verify and interview directly to the regarding personnel, to the respective personnel. Verify the SOP, verify the SOP of the training. Is it already fulfill the halal standard regulation? Verify the evidence of training implementation. There must be a post-test evaluation, and then the certificate, maybe certificate of the training, also attendance list, something like that. And the score after the post-test is also important. Okay. Verify the duties, verify the halal supporting document. So we need to verify the validity of halal certificate, verify the validity of the specification, COA, maybe verify the validity of the flowchart process, yeah. And then we compare it with the halal standard regulation. Verify the validity or valid date from halal certifier body. From halal certifier body, we need to verify the valid date from halal certifier body from abroad, beside Indonesia. In Indonesia regulation, you need to verify the issuing date, not the expiry date. But for the others halal certifier body beside Indonesia, we need to validate and ensure the validity date or expiry date of the halal certificate. But in Indonesia, you need to ensure the issuing date of the halal certificate. As I mentioned before, the halal certificate in Indonesia is valid forever as long as no changes on the material, no changes on the process. Okay, identify all production facility, because some manufacturer use toll manufacturing service, something like that. That's why we need to identify the toll manufacturing service in job competency number 3 during the on-site audit. For example, when I conduct the audit to the restaurant, I found out that the restaurant utilize the toll manufacturing service for producing the bakery product. The restaurant don't have the oven, don't have the baking equipment, something like that. So until I identify, I found out that the restaurant utilize the toll manufacturing service, which is not, and also not yet and then not yet halal certified for the aforementioned toll manufacturing service. Okay, and my case during audit as well, when I conduct the audit to Singapore, I would conduct the halal audit for the chemical cleaning agent product. The manufacturer also use toll manufacturing service to convert the liquid product become aerosol type of product. So that's why you need to identify, are all the product produced by the audit production facility itself or using third-party production facility service. That's the critical thing when identify the production facilities of the company. Verify the product name, shape, aroma profile, so ensure no, for example, producing food product with bacon aroma, it's not allowed, something like that. Producing the Black Forest with ram aroma is not allowed in halal certification. Verify list of ingredients. So if the ingredient has 300 ingredient, 500 ingredient, you need to verify each ingredient one by one. You need to verify the ingredient one by one, identify whether it is critical or not critical material. If it's critical, you need to verify again the validity of its supporting document. Okay, so you need to verify the ingredient one by one. That's why when you conduct the audit, there must be the production process must be occur during your visit to the company. You can so that you can observe the real production process directly. That's why there must be the ingredients. You can observe by yourself. There must be the production process you observe by yourself as well. Verify the SOP or the procedure of halal product process. You need to verify the SOP, the written procedure regarding purchasing, incoming material check or QC incoming, the production, packaging process, warehouse, storage, until the distribution of the end product in case it is manufacturing. For the restaurant, you need to identify until you need to check the SOP or written procedure until the serving process. And okay. SOP for the slaughterhouse, you need to verify the SOP for the slaughtering house. Maybe you need to verify the SOP of the slaughtering process, or maybe SOP of stunning process, something like that. Okay, verify the evidence. So in case any written procedure, any SOP, any working instruction, there must be the evidence or records of its SOP. So there must be the evidence in case maybe evidence can be form of incoming material check, invoice of purchasing material, or batch record, or maybe checklist, cleaning checklist, something like that, to verify the evidence depend on its halal SOP. Okay, written procedure for internal audit, written procedure for management review. You need to check and you need to compare it with the halal standard regulation. Is it fulfilled or not? So if in case it's not fulfilled, the halal regulation, you can consider the case as NC or non-conformance. Okay, also in case any SOP, there must be the records regarding the SOP of internal audit or SOP of management review. And then sampling according to the regulation. So several product, not all kind of product, specified product need to be sampled and then analyzed in laboratory. So, for example, the fermented milk, fermented beverage, something like the fermented milk, fermented beverage in Indonesia regulation need to be sampled. There must sampling process need to be conducted for fermented beverage to check and then analyze the residual ethanol. The residual ethanol based on the regulation of Indonesia halal standard must be below 0.5%. Okay, below 0.5%. Okay, and then the next step after conducting the on-site audit, you need to you need to do the interim meeting only between you and the halal auditor team. You need to do and compose the summary of the on-site audit, determine the NC from what halal criteria, determine the NC, write down on the form of the on-site audit. And then after interim meeting, the auditor team is allowed to do the closing meeting. On closing meeting, you need to explain all the finding, include non-conformance finding. You explain to the halal management team, and also explain about complaint and appeal procedure, and then in case any clarification from halal management team, you need to respond. You need to give response regarding any clarification from the halal management team. Okay, if you both party already agree from the external halal auditor and halal management team already agree, sign on the closing meeting form, sign on the closing meeting form and write down the attendance list on a closing meeting session. Okay, so after the on-site audit, the last job competency standard is creating the audit report. So after visiting the company production site, the audit production site, you need to create the audit report. You need to create the audit report based on the previous on-site audit result. Okay, so but you need to provide the information in audit reporting, the information of company profile, type of product, list of the product being registered to halal certification, list of material, and then the explanation about 5 criteria halal standard implementation, the photo of the products, or maybe laboratory result, something. The result of laboratory check, maybe you need to attach it to the audit halal audit report. And then after you finish the report, the reviewer will review your audit report, or maybe your audit report will be discussed in halal auditor meeting of halal certifier body, and will assess whether your audit report will be continue to the fatwa of Islamic Scholar Committee or not. So if your audit report still need to be revised, the auditee of the halal management team need to give the revision, the corrective action regarding the NC found out from the on-site audit process. So after you receive the corrective action, you need to verify the corrective action. Is it already well implemented, already effective or not? So if it's not effective, not well implemented, you can return it again to the halal management team and let them identify again the root cause problem of the NC and try to find out another solution as the corrective action. Okay, after the corrective action, preventive action are enough, the halal auditor can give check on the CAPA report, and you submit again the revised or the final version of the audit report again to Islamic scholar of the committee of fatwa or committee of Islamic scholar. Okay, from the committee of fatwa will issue the halal fatwa. The halal fatwa will be converted into the halal certificate of the auditee. Okay, I think it is the last. I think it is the last slide. Okay. Okay, I already explained. Okay, I already explained the introduction of job competency, the 4 job competency unit for competent halal auditor. Any question or any discussion from brother and sister here in Zoom or in this meeting? Feel free to ask me via chat or
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Agam. So we still have 30 minutes to Q&A session. So please, if you have some question, it's time.
attendee chat. Okay. I already shared the material to Mr. Asep in case you can read again the material from me. Any question, brother and sister, or hopefully you understand about the 4 main points that I already explained.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. It's
Yeah,
just introduction.
just introduction, not yet the class assignment.
Yes, please, if you have a question, maybe Miss Dita Haka.
Okay, thank you so much. All
Thank you
clear,
so much. All clear,
alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah.
For now,
Yes.
it's good.
Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, Miss Dita,
yes, Miss
please.
Dita.
For now, it's good.
Alhamdulillah.
So please, if you have a question, we still have 25 minutes to discuss. But if you still confused, you can ask later. Also with Mr. Agam, when the material is going deeper, one by one, we will talk about job competency unit number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. I think okay. So if you don't have a question, we can break early. We can still continue after break. So you will have 1 hour and 25 minutes for breaks. What do you think? If you agree to break earlier,
I do agree. I do agree with Mr. Asep, but for the
because
participant, feel free.
yeah, because after this, it will be more deeper. We will talk one by one and more confused.
Confused.
Sorry, brother, just a small suggestion from Australia. Would it be possible if we could continue it and finish it earlier? Because for us, the timing is a bit late finished.
So you want to continue with the
No,
next
it's
session?
okay. No, if everyone agrees, no, it's not. I'm just suggesting, like, because for us, it's the session finished very late, and I already sent a request for
Mhm.
tomorrow for the test as well, because the test is a fall like at around 2 a.m. in the morning, which will be hard for us to concentrate on that time. So I just
Okay.
sent a suggestion for that as well. If you could please consider it and to arrange our test at another suitable time. And for the session to continue as well. It's entirely up to all the participants and the management how you guys go, but this is just a humble request to you guys.
Okay. So you recommend that we can break early for 1
Yeah.
hour, then we will continue to the next session
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, we would like to continue, to finish the sessions early if possible. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay. How, Mr. Agam?
So we continue for the next session, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, we break first because
break first,
we
okay.
didn't break yet from the beginning, and then we break first for 1 hour. So we will start early at 6:30.
6:30, okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's okay.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah
Okay.
khair.
Oh no, not 6:30, but 5:30. 5:30, Mr. Agam.
5:30. Okay, yeah, I do agree with you, Brother Asep. Yeah, we
Okay.
continue 5:30 in Indonesia time.
Yes, in Indonesia time. Okay. Thank you so much,
For
Mr.
us will be
Agam.
9:30, so that's fine because we are 4 hours ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
So for
yes.
us will be 9:30. All good.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So based on recommendation, so we will break early and then we will start early. 30 minutes. Okay. Thank you very much. See you in 1 hour. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi